Okay.
Hello and welcome to the first CoinBurp NFT video interview. We're joined today by subtle.bubble or Victor. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Hi, thanks for having me.
Cool. So you're a Brazilian American artist creating illustrations, animations using like different styles. How would you sort of explain like your sort of techniques and the work you make?
I think I'm still discovering like a own personal style. So I'm in the process of exploration. I try not to restrict myself to one specific process or just like visual aesthetic. I try to more consider like the concept and what I think will carry it more. So, I mean, I guess how I'd describe my work would be mostly colorful. I like the primary colors a lot. So you'll be seeing a lot of yellow, blue, red. But besides that, I'd also probably use whimsical and surreal even for some of it. But like I said, like I don't restrict myself to one style. So like I like abstract art as well. So yeah, it just depends on the mood.
Trying out everything basically.
Pretty much.
So I'll just do a bit of background on CoinBurp. So if you don't know who we are with CoinBurp, uniquely user-friendly crypto exchange, known for low fees, outstanding customer service, and easy-to-use platform. Most recently gone into like NFTs and made our own DeFi NFT wallet, which is currently in alpha stage. We're looking to develop that in the coming months. But currently you can add funds, buy your favorite digital art collectibles, and send NFTs to wallets and earn rewards. So yeah, today we're just doing an NFT artist interview, the first one we've ever done. We'll just go through the main questions now, if that's all right with you.
Question. Should I refer to you as Liam or as the conglomerate CoinBurp?
No, Liam's fine. No, it's like this bit here. I had to write this out backwards just so it kind of looks like it's difficult. But yeah, Liam's fine. So yeah, the first one is, how did you first get into creating digital art?
So with digital art has been a long path. I, like most kids, I've always kind of drawn, right? But then when I moved in from Brazil to America, that's when I really started leaning towards it more because it was something I could do on my own, but also something that I could use to break the language barrier. Like I could make my classmates laugh if I made a silly drawing kind of thing, right? And then in middle school, I got a Nintendo DSi and there's this game called Flipnote Hatino on it. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's like this pretty simple animation game where you could like create an animation and post it to basically like a social media platform, but like of its own, just animations. So I would do like stick figure fights and like Rube Goldberg machines, that kind of thing. Really just simple stuff. I don't have access to those, but I really wish I did. Then kind of took a little hiatus from that because you can't really take your DSi to school. So I was just like filling up sketchbooks in class, like, like if I wasn't drawing on the notebook margins, I was just filling up a sketchbook. And then I really started wanting to get into like Copic markers. Like I heard about Copic markers and they looked really great. It looked like all the good artists had them, but they were really expensive. So I never like built up the courage to ask my parents for one or like a set, because they're like 120 for like a set. Like it's pretty expensive. So I started using watercolors because I just figured I could just mix the colors I wanted and I could use like a light coat to kind of emulate that marker look. And then I ran across this little tablet, the Wacom Into a Straw, which was like the $60, like about this big tablet. And so I thought to myself, like, wait, with this, like I'll have access to all the colors and like never run out of paint. So I just started doing digital art around like junior year of high school. And then ever since then, I just kind of thought it was like an advantage to like the work process. And then later in college, I got an iPad and that's been my main thing now.
No, yeah, that sounds funny. So the next one is, I saw you done a illustration of Tyler the Creator yesterday, or a couple of days ago. What would you say your inspirations, like could be NFT artists or TV shows, music, or anything?
I'm really inspired by cartoons. I mean, like the first thing that got me going was like Tarzan and like Treasure Planet, like those movies. but I'm also inspired by just like independent creators, like people that do some like full projects on their own. Like Felix Colgrave is an animator that comes off the top of my head. Jack Stauber is a musician slash animator that I really love. A lot of people are that kind of reside in YouTube. So Worthy Kids, Cass, and Vune are some that come to mind. I think that just like people that are able to conceptualize a full like short film or project album, whatever it may be, and then like actually execute it are really inspiring to me. But I'm also inspired by art history. I think it's important to kind of like study it to like have something to build off of. Primarily, I'm more interested in like the surrealism movement. I'm really interested in Dada as well, and I think that we're kind of seeing that now in NFTs, which I'd be happy to like talk about. But I'm also interested and inspired by street art. So like what I see around, not so much nowadays because I'm not in a city where there's a lot of, but like what I used to see when I was a kid, as well as just street artists that were turned into fine artists like Cause. I think he's a really cool artist.
Yeah, it was fun quality. How would you describe your work process from idea to finish?
I think my work process is like I said, with my style, it's constantly changing. So about every like 6 months, I have a new way I'm approaching things. But lately, I've been really just enjoying doing really rough sketches on note cards because I think it's just something I can throw away or not throw away, but like toss it aside if I don't like. It's not like as precious as a sketchbook. So I start with note cards, really small scale, and then I just take it digitally and try to work on that idea and make it a full-fledged illustration. It's either that or like, you know, when you're drifting off to sleep, you get an idea and then you hold on to it until you can work on it. Like this last month, I worked on a piece that I had been sitting on since 2019. And that was like my most recent auction. But I'm really happy I waited. Like I'm really happy I waited because I love how that piece came out. That one's thoughts and prayers.
Oh no, is it not difficult to like? So you get the idea back in 2019 to work on it for 2 years. Or like,
I feel like.
Sorry, go ahead. No, sorry. You carry on.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that could be strange, like to hear that, but it's not. It's. I guess I just have like this visual kind of memories attached to it. So like I've conceptualized the main composition, but I haven't really worked out the details or even like color schemes or anything. I just kind of know that I want these two giant nuns with a bunch of hands over like a gas can that's on fire. And like, I feel like that kind of becomes like an icon in my head so that I'm able to like recollect it. And I have like a few of those that I kind of still like am sitting on. I just like, I'm so scatterbrained that on a day-to-day basis, I'm like working on 3 different projects. So then I'm like, I'm like waiting for the right time to bring up that old project. Usually it's when I don't have anything good popping up in a note card. Yeah.
Quality. So with like NFTs blowing up, you know, you got people like 6-9 mil. That's nuts.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on like cryptocurrency and NFTs right now?
I mean, we've been hearing it over and over that we're still early, and that's definitely still true. Even though I'm not like the earliest NFT artist, I started researching and really diving deep into it early February. And personally, like for myself, I think it's really liberating. It's empowering as an artist to be able to have full control and also like give this ability to collectors across the world to like find your work and collect your work, as well as being able to connect with artists from around the world. Because with having the currency be global, like I've collabed with people from the Netherlands and we haven't had to like have discussion on, you know, transferring dollar or anything. It's just like, yeah, let's split the Ethereum. So I think that's really cool. I think like there's this moment of just like wow that we're going through, and we're still defining like the things that we can do. We don't even understand the full tech, but like I'm excited to see us push towards, instead of just like personal like empowerment and like I'm a creator and I feel like I can do the work I love, like cultural empowerment. Like we can create the work we want to see, like as a group, like seeing like I don't know, a big dream of mine is seeing like ateliers and stuff come back and like not have so many art colleges and just have like groups of people that are dedicated on working together and like learning off each other and sharing the Ethereum that they're making. Cause I don't know, I think that'd be great.
Just give it like 5-10 years.
Yeah, not to go on too much of a tangent, but to add to the tangent, I'm kind of personally like my personal kind of like I don't know what to call it, thing against the space right now, if I might say. I don't want to come off too negative, but I'm kind of like hoping we can move past the generative collectibles soon. Like I understand that it's appealing and it's something that is like accessible and brings people in. But I really want to see like even if it is collectible series, like I want to see like passionate people creating them rather than, you know, oh, you're good. I'll repeat a little bit back, but I said like, even if it's like a collectible series, like I love to see passionate people behind them that are actually trying to push either the tech or the art rather than these low effort NFTs just coming about, which is kind of why I mentioned the Dada movement earlier, because like now anything's an NFT in the same way that during that people were saying anything's art, right? So you can sell a single pixel for thousands of dollars.
Yeah, especially like OpenSea, you can chuck anything on there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't want to say too much. I want to keep my job, so I'll leave it there. But do you see a correlation between like the traditional art market and NFT market, especially with things like OpenSea? Like any, as you were saying before, like the Ethereum, where you can like just share the Ethereum, collaborate with people from all over the world. Like that wouldn't be possible in a traditional art market. You'd have to meet up, everything like that. So yeah, do you see any correlation between the two?
I mean, my experience with the traditional art market isn't much. Like I've been in group shows and like I've been in like not handful, but like 2 or 3 group shows, but never, you know, been in a gallery really full on or anything like that. I've tried doing commissions and all that. I could draw some similarities, but I feel like mainly what I've been seeing is like the start of these digital galleries. That's something that's really exciting me. And I feel like them moving beyond what we can do in just like the physical world is going to be really exciting because, you know, right now it's kind of emulating what we see in the physical world with just having paintings in like a wall. But as soon as people realize like, wait, my character can fly, like I can have these like paintings just floating and like have these crazy worlds, then I think we're going to see some cool art stuff. As for how it kind of correlates with the traditional art market, I mean, you still got to appeal as an artist as well as like have your art be appealing. So you're still kind of talking with collectors and making connections, but now it's anyone. Like you might be collecting, like you might be talking and having deep conversations with an anonymous collector, and that's kind of interesting in a way.
Yeah, that sounds good. So the final main question is, like, we do this all the time, or often when we get new employees. I've done it a few months ago. But are there any TV shows or movies that you're ashamed that you admit you love?
This was a hard one. So I have okay. I don't think I watch anything that brings me shame. I try to, you know, like I'm usually kind of like okay with the stuff I watch, but like the things that I wouldn't like bring up to like, you know, a first date or like a party kind of scenario, like I'm all for admitting that the Lego movie's great, but I don't think I would totally explain how much I love that movie. I think that like I love that movie so much. And I gotta also mention Antique Roadshow, I think is underrated, and Extreme Makeover Home Edition as well. I love that show, especially when they move the bus and you see people's reactions to their new home. It's great.
So we'll finish off just with some rapid fire questions.
Shoot, yeah.
If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Japan.
Probably. I'd love to go to Japan as well. It looks crazy. What is one thing you can't live without?
Oh, my sketchbooks. I mean, that's kind of a given, I guess.
What are your other passions besides creating art?
I like music a lot. Yeah, I can't go without music. So I sometimes try to make music, but it's not anything great. But it's kind of like a visceral experience when you push a button and sound comes out.
Yeah, I saw your Tyler illustration with quality. And finally, do you have any upcoming drops that you want to speak about?
Right now I'm just working on some like more long-term projects. So I'm starting kind of planning a short film, and I'm trying to see if I can have it in a way where each scene is an individual mint, because the short film in itself is going to be vignettes of just daily life. I was doing this series of daily comics, and I just kind of want to expand on that like breadth of work by having it be animated.
No, it's like watching a space, basically. Is there anything you want to shout out to finish up the interview?
Yeah, I want to shout out a couple awesome creators that I've gotten to connect with. I want to shout out Kat Russell on Twitter. I want to shout out Show Deer. I want to shout out Siomot. Just go check them out. They're cool. And just shout out the whole NFT community for being pretty inspiring. You know, shout out CoinBurp for inviting me.
Shout out to yourself. Thanks for coming.
Thanks. Yeah.
So yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Thanks for coming.
Sounds great. Yeah.
So follow subtle.bubble on Twitter, and yeah, check out all his work. See you in a bit.
Thank you.